And then after that,
Even though all it did was like bring it into the ground. So like, did it actually destroy it?
I would assume
I
so.
guess.
But then after that, what happens? Freaking. Oh yeah, yeah,
You
the
go into the
tower.
tower.
So it turns out I didn't tell Morden until the last second because then I felt guilty. 'Cause I
Yep.
was like, in
Same.
a realistic like scenario, it doesn't matter about like what happens in the far future.
See,
You're just trying to destroy the
I was
Reapers.
hoping that by telling him that like maybe he would be like, you know what? Like after that whole conversation in the shuttle, be like maybe it shouldn't be cured and then like whatever. But then he goes up there anyway, and then I'm like, okay, well he'll just fix it or whatever. But then
Yeah.
he dies.
He's the only one
Like
that could.
great.
What?
He's the only one that could have gotten it right.
Yeah, that was kind of
I mean,
that's the only but mine was ruined because I never had Malin destroy the data or destroy his data, or I never not told Morden. So he was like disappointed in me that I wasn't going to tell him, but then I told him at the last second, and he's like, "Oh,"
yeah,
I told him that I wasn't going to cure it, but talking to you, like I knew that I was doing the right choice
yeah.
because it's Morden or whatever.
Yeah,
So then
he
he's like,
basically
"Oh."
said, yeah, he said that I don't trust the Krogan, but I trust you.
Yeah, that
Like
was it.
basically,
And he's like,
yeah.
well, it's a good thing it was me because someone else would have got it wrong. I mean, it's a sad ending though. Just hearing
It
him
is.
like sing "I'm a
Dad.
modern major," and then he just. I mean, I don't like how they cut him off though because it was kind of
Wait, so
corny.
would he have died either way?
Yeah, he always dies no matter what.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I figured.
Oh,
Because like if you don't
well,
tell
if
him,
you
then it
make
would just take him longer. But would he still
Yeah.
cure the xenophage or not?
No, because if he went up there, he would just blow up because he can't cure it.
yeah, if
That's
you
hilarious.
save him up there.
See, but I feel like maybe did I troll because like I mean I imagine you can still beat the Reapers in the end anyway, but I feel like the Solarians would have been nice for developing the thing faster.
I mean, no matter what you do, you can beat the Reapers. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure that, but
well,
like,
let's.
Realistically, you might. I don't know because that's why it's a hard. Like if it was an actual game, like where the choices matter, that is like a
yeah,
hard choice because like yeah, the Crucible you get faster Crucible building, but you don't even know if it works. Like technically,
yeah.
that's a whole like you
Huh?
don't know what that thing is.
Then
It could.
Well, I mean, but the
Dang, Brian just left. What the heck?
dang, should we keep going? We're almost done anyway.
Yeah,
I was gonna say the if you didn't have the DLC, then yeah, you wouldn't know if it worked. But having the DLC and having the Prothean, he pretty much confirms that
that's
it
true.
would have.
No, no, no. He
It they
said that he
just
never
didn't.
built. They never finished
Well,
it.
yeah, that's true. He did say they never. By the time he was in service, basically, like the Empire had been split up and
Yeah.
into cells, pretty much, and nobody really talked to each other.
It's kind of interesting that like his birth was literally fully just to be the
Yeah.
vengeance of the Prothean.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Hey, what happened, right?
he got caught.
But what's annoying at the end of the mission, because I freaking because you didn't cure the mail-in data, so we couldn't save her. So she dies. She dies while he's
I
getting the
mean,
cure.
just a consequence.
But why is it
You say your
only
choices
consequences for
matter.
renegade players? Never
You say your
consequence for
choices don't
paragons.
matter.
Gosh, it's annoying. And then because they said that because she died, like she would have been able to get all the Krogan to be together or whatever.
Yeah,
Like because she's like this, she's the mother of Krogan now because she
yeah.
helped secure the Genophage. But because she's dead, there's gonna be a
Oh,
power vacuum.
I was confused this whole time. Who the fuck is Malin? But you're talking about Eve.
No, he's talking about. Wait,
You remember the Morden loyalty mission? The guy who's trying to secure the Genophage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when he's talking about
Yeah,
Malin, he's talking
that's
about
his
that
name is
guy
Malin.
Oh.
Yeah. And remember the data, I chose to destroy that data.
so they weren't able to keep
Oh.
her alive.
Yeah, because I destroyed the data, Eve wasn't able to, they weren't able to figure out how to save her. So she dies.
Oh, okay.
okay,
Yeah.
but you
Dang.
knew the outcome, so why did you destroy the data anyways?
Because I'm trying to do a like what makes sense with the context of the time
But does
for
it make
Shepard.
sense? Because if you just
Yes.
keep the data
Because
for yourself,
no, because
then
in
you
Mass
get
Effect
both.
2, like what you know at that time is that the Krogan are war hungry, like warmongers constantly. You're walking around Tachanka and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna show the Turians who's boss." So I'm like,
Okay, that's right,
I
but
would
in Mass
destroy
Effect
that data.
2, not destroying the data is the both of both worlds because you could decide what to do with it, even if you later on
But
you want
I
to just
don't
keep
Yeah.
want to
it.
decide what to do with it. I think that data was wrong
But how is that the better choice?
because I think destroy. It's similar to like, let's just say you go to freaking, I don't know, you go to freaking, I'm trying to think of a freaking, let's say you go to Japan, World War II,
uh, I
and
know what you're gonna
you
say.
see this, shut up, shut up. You see this data, and they're like, oh, we found a virus that can kill everyone in 1 second. Like the moment we drop the vial, it kills everyone in the earth in 1 second. It just spreads and kills
Yep.
everyone. You're like, oh, I could keep it and, just for science to figure it out. Or I could be like, we need to send this crap into space and never look at it again.
Well, that's not the same.
It is the same. Similar to Krogan, I don't want them to be cured. I think they are a menace and they are
But
not
keeping
ready for the
Bailey's
galactic
data
stage.
doesn't equal saving Krogans or not.
What?
In the second game, you keeping the data does not equal you saving the Krogans
But
or
in the
saving
second
us.
game, me keeping the data is data that can be used to further cure the genophage. I do not want the genophage cured at all.
So you want people to continue to be oppressed and not have what they should have.
Brian, you're
They're not
ignoring the
oppressed though.
fact
We've
that
already talked about this
there's
too.
two things. One, and even Edie says this actually in Mass Effect 3, I think. Because if you talk to her, she said there's something confusing about the Krogan. The Krogan only have 1% of their births survive, but each Krogan female can have over 1,000 eggs every year.
Yeah.
So she was saying, like, within a certain lifespan, they can have over 10 billion babies within like a whatever year process, but they're not able
Yeah.
to. So that's just telling you just how much they overpopulate. With the
Yep.
genophage, they can overpopulate. Without it, with every
Wait,
freaking female,
how many can they have with the genophage?
with genophage, like let's just say 1% of all females can still have 1,000 babies a year. 1%
Wait,
of, let's
oh,
just
is
say
that
10
what it is?
billion is still a lot. It's 1 billion.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They're not. They're just
Their
mad that they
problem was
can't
that they overpopulate.
overproduce.
Yeah, they can't. That was the issue with Krogan all along, is that they overpopulate.
Yeah.
They take
Yeah.
over
Are
The
they ever
worlds, like
Genophage.
overpopulating?
they colonize worlds and then they overpopulate that world. So they need to hop to another colony and they
Yep.
overpopulate that one. So then they started populating or started to colonate worlds that were already having people on it. Like they were taking Turian worlds, they're taking Solarian worlds, taking Asari worlds. So that's what started the war.
Plus, don't they talk about how like Tachanka is cramped for them,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
overpopulate.
and
They're
they're
literally
already, and that's with the Genophage. They
yeah.
feel cramped
So that's
already.
why the only reason in Mass Effect 3 I saved it, like not even caring about what happens at the end or rather matters or not. Like in the Shepherd mind, I'm like, the only reason I'm curing it is because I don't know if the Crucible's going to work. But I do know that the Krogan can be a crazy amount of foot soldiers. And
Yeah.
like, so I'm like, okay, we need the Krogan for the ground battles.
Yep.
That's the only reason I cured it.
What would be crazy is if the
So
fucking
why then
Krogan got
destroy
like
Baylor's data with that
I
lot?
just
But you
know
know the Reapers are
I
coming
knew
to.
they were coming, but I didn't know the scale of it. And also, I'm thinking like at the time, I do not want the
Freaking one
Krogan to
Reaper
overpopulate.
almost destroyed the
I'm saying I
Citadel.
don't want the Krogan to overpopulate right now before the Reapers even come.
But you're okay
basically,
with
yeah.
putting it in a phase in the third game.
Yeah, in the third game, situation changed. The facts changed.
But you watch one freaking Reaper destroy the Citadel and like a whole bunch, half the Alliance fleet,
No, no, no,
half
no,
the.
no, 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 no. That just took like yeah, that took half the. It wasn't half the Alliance fleet.
Also, if the
It was
Genophage is
just a
cured,
couple
are they not
squadrons.
able to recreate another version?
They probably
I mean,
could.
you could. I
In
mean, you
fact,
should.
they didn't weren't they? They were talking. Morden was talking about how he like had to correct the Genophage too because he said
Yeah.
something about they were adapting through it, and so
Mhm.
they had to recreate it again.
Which is annoying because it turns out they adapted through his changes too. Because there were a
Yeah.
couple of the females who were adapted to it
Yep.
or they mutated. I mean, that was how they tried to fix it. They're like, oh no, they just mutated and something something something. But I was like, that doesn't make
Yep.
sense. That's literally just adapting. So they adapted again. That's what you're saying.
Trolling.
But after that, that was it. I guess now you just have
Yep.
to deal with the consequences because it seems like the Krogan are just gonna if they win the war, the Krogan are just gonna be an issue again.
But how fast do they grow?
Apparently fast. Look at freaking Grunt.
Well, yeah, but
6
the
months
grunt
old.
was grown in a lab though,
That's true.
so like he was grown to be like that.
Well, I don't
But
know.
like
I
the
thought
other
one of them
ones,
were baby. Oh man, I just saw some crazy lightning. I thought I saw some baby Krogan at some point.
I don't remember. I mean,
I
you
don't
can look
remember,
it
but
up.
I think they're pretty big as babies because they're not birthed like mammals. They're eggs,
Oh yeah,
and it's 1,000 eggs that can be fertilized. Crazy. They're literally.
yeah.
My freaking headphones are about to run out of battery.
I mean, it just says they grow very quickly.
Yeah.
Really say how fast.
But yeah, that's the only reason I cured it because we need the foot soldiers. And but then it's also like I don't know. They keep saying like, "Oh, at the time of the Krogan, we can possibly, be a better society." This. But that's not the issue. It's like Mass Effect forgot what the issue was in the first place, or like the Mass Effect writers. The issue is the overpopulation. They can be
Yeah,
as peaceful as they want, and it's still going to be 20 billion Krogan every 10 years.
and then couple that with the fact that they're literally like the perfect. Well, maybe not the perfect species, but they're like the strongest species,
Yeah.
right? Or one of the
So I guess
strongest
that.
sentient species.
So who knows how? That's why I wonder how they will even do Mass Effect freaking 4 if they do it. They
Mhm.
have to do a prequel.
Why didn't the Reapers just try to like control them? Could
They
you
did. They
imagine?
tried. That's what the whole
Uh,
thing with Mass Effect 1. Remember what pissed off Rex the first time because they were cloning a
yeah,
Krogan. So Reapers already tried, but freaking Chad Shepard always ruins their plan. But I guess that's it. That's that we went
yep.
through everything.
That was a long ass playthrough
Yeah,
of
it
the
won't be
first
as long
round.
for like